Hello everyone, I hope you're doing really well and thank you so much for joining me today. It's a very cold day in this woodland, but it's fantastic to be out, but a little bit chilly on the face and hands. They say that every photograph tells a story, and I certainly think that is true, but as a photographer I think there's an interesting story behind the capture of every image. And in this video I'm going to talk about 3 images which I've took over the last few weeks, tell the story behind them, and they're all autumnal images. So we've got some autumnal colour, we've got some amazing light, we've got some nice weather conditions, a variety of things. So there's 3 photographs that I really like. And then at the end of the video I'll show a few more. I won't talk about those, but I'll show a few more that I've captured during autumn this year. So lots to show and speak about, so let's head on and I'll talk about the first image. So let me talk about the first image, which I'm incredibly happy with. I feel that I captured quite a special moment, and the type of moment that I haven't seen very often during my years of landscape photography. I was walking through a woodland, and quite a way ahead off to the right there was a beautiful glow of light coming from the sun, which was behind some trees, so that instantly piqued my interest. As I walked closer I could see the path winding off into the distance, and I thought there's potential for a nice image here. And there were no light rays or anything at this point, but I could just see the sunlight catching some particles in the air and perhaps some flying insects. It was incredibly subtle, but I did notice it. So I was eager to get my camera and tripod set up because the sun was moving quite quick in the sky at this time of year. And I almost had the composition finalised when I saw, looking through the camera, these amazing light rays start to form. And in all honesty, I think they lasted about 25 seconds, probably at most. And it was quite stunning to see, and I just had everything finalised. I was ready to hit the button, set off my 2-second timer and take the image. And I heard a voice behind me, and I looked round. And there was a couple walking, and they said, "Oh, are you taking photographs?" And I quickly said, "Yes, I'm hoping to capture this amazing light in this scene ahead of me." And they very kindly said, "Oh, we'll wait here, we won't get in your shot." And I was so thankful for that. And I fired off. I think I took 2 images of the scene. The light rays were at their peak. I got the shot and I thanked them and I was delighted, and they walked off into the scene, and as they walked off ahead of me the light rays vanished. And I was delighted to capture this image. As I say, I've not seen something like this a lot, very seldom in fact, and to be there at the right moment and have these light rays, which were amazing, coming through the trees in the perfect part of my image, my composition, it was just amazing. So I was really pleased to capture this one, and I'll show you the image now. So it really is fantastic to be out in the woodland today. There's some nice sunlight across the woodland. It's illuminating it, it's uplifting. Not the best for photography, but still fantastic to be out for a walk. So on to image number 2, and I'm really pleased with this one as well. On the evening before I headed out, I could see that the weather forecast was predicting some fog. So I got everything ready and I headed out early the next morning to a woodland in the hope of fog. And I was delighted to find fog. But I suspected from checking the weather and so on, it wouldn't last long. So I had to work quickly, but in situations like that, I'm never wanting to rush and just take an average photograph just to capture some fog. I think that's a waste of my time really. So I was paying a lot of attention, but I had to work quickly and find a strong composition. And I really felt that I found that. There was a lovely tree on my right, some nice autumn colour on it, a scattering of fallen leaves on the forest floor with autumn colour as well. And when I was getting myself ready, the sun began to break through the fog, and I would say at that point, in another 40 minutes or so, the fog was completely gone. So I just captured it at the correct time. And I aligned everything carefully. There's some wonderful characterful trees, and in the gaps between trees, as you look off into the distance, there's just wonderful, lots of detail to see. I captured all the 3 photographs I'm going to talk about today on my Fuji GFX 50S2, and the detail is just amazing to see. I love looking at this one in a print and also on my computer screen. The side light coming in from the left really made the scene, and I think I was there again at the right moment just to capture this scene at its best. So I'm really pleased with this image, and I hope you enjoy seeing it as well. So most of the time when I'm doing landscape photography, I like to approach it very slowly, take my time, and I think for me personally, other than moments of fleeting light where I have to act quick, that's how I get my best photographs. But you'll see a common theme so far in the video where I've had to act quite quickly but still very considered about my compositions to capture the first 2 images. And that's also the case for the third one, the last one that I want to talk about today. So for this one, again, in a woodland, autumn, just a few weeks ago, looking to capture some nice autumnal images, I saw a glow coming through some trees, quite similar to the first image. And as I got closer, the light was just amazing. So I was beginning to set up my composition, and very similar to what I spoke about in the first image, these beautiful light rays started to appear. And again, I was incredibly fortunate. I really haven't seen this very often, especially in the right place to get a nice photograph, but I've been fortunate this autumn. And these light rays started to come through from the background, and there was a number of trees just in front of me, so I had to be very careful with my composition, get everything lined up nicely. And there was a nice curve on the forest floor as well, and some leaves with autumn colour which had fell off the trees. And the light was coming from behind this tree which had some lovely colour on it, and the light rays were coming down sort of in front of it and through it and so on. So I had to work all of this into my composition. And I was thinking carefully, probably thinking slowly, but also quickly at the same time, being aware of what was going on with the light and how fleeting it could be. So again, quite a fleeting moment, probably a shorter amount of time for the light rays to be there than in my first image, perhaps 15 seconds. And then things just slowly faded and became more normal. So again, an image that I'm really pleased with, and I hope you enjoy seeing it. So those are the 3 images that I want to tell the story behind in this video, but in just a second I'm going to show more images, more of my photography during autumn. These are images that I've captured in the last few weeks, so I hope you enjoy seeing those. If you've enjoyed this video, hearing the story behind some of my photography, then I have another 2 videos like this on my channel. I'll put links to those in the description below. There's some nice photographs that I'm really proud of. There's some interesting stories, and I think some important stories in those as well, so be sure to check those out. If alternatively you like autumn photography and you've enjoyed seeing some of my autumnal photographs, then check out, I think it's my previous 3 videos on my channel, the 3 before this one, and they're all on location videos where I'm capturing images as I film, and there's some images in there that I really do like as well, so I hope you enjoy watching those. I'll put links to those in the description as well. But for now, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I really do appreciate that as always, and I hopefully will see you in my next video.